Good morning and thank you for waking up with us on this 22nd of March 2020. I'm Mike Strehlow. Here's a look at what's ahead on CBS 58 Sunday morning. Vintage vets. Michael Schlesinger highlights a driven collector's fascination with America's favorite sports car. Plus, preserving a sanctuary in Wauwatosa. Brendan Cullerton explores the newly preserved Sanctuary Woods Conservancy area. And later, a unique listing in Mequon. Brittany Lewis tours a piece of Milwaukee area history now available to the right buyer. Also ahead.
I don't know if there's many opportunities in life where you can share a crescendo together. Boy, these kids play just with their heart and soul.
We take the stage with an elite ensemble, members of a high school honors class who, despite the postponement of a dream trip to perform at Carnegie Hall, haven't forgotten the hard work, friendship, and support that opened the door to this exclusive invitation. But first, in our ongoing commitment to keep you informed of the latest developments in the coronavirus pandemic, we check in with Mark McPherson in the CBS 58 News studio.
Good morning, Mike. The coronavirus pandemic keeps growing both locally and nationally. The virus has now claimed the lives of 4 people in Wisconsin. The numbers include a second death in Milwaukee County. The medical examiner said a 69-year-old man had been hospitalized since March 14th and tested positive for coronavirus. He also had multiple other underlying conditions. The man was traveling in Milwaukee from out of state. Coronavirus deaths in the last week include a 66-year-old man in Milwaukee County, an Ozaukee County man in his 90s, and a man in his 50s from Fond du Lac County. And the number of new positive cases in Wisconsin keeps going up. The state is reporting 281 confirmed cases. That's 75 more than before. Milwaukee County leads the state with 126 cases. That's followed by Dane with 49. In all, 29 of the state's 72 counties have reported at least one positive case. Nationally, Vice President Mike Pence says coronavirus testing is being ramped up nationwide with more than 195,000 tests administered so far. He said more than 19,000 have tested positive. On Capitol Hill, senators are spending the weekend trying to finalize details of a $1 trillion economic stimulus package. That bipartisan bill includes relief for small businesses. A vote on that package this week. In the studio, Mark McPherson, CBS 58 News.
As people unite to treat those who are sick and to prevent the spread of the virus, not overlooked are those addressing everyday basic needs, such as feeding the hungry. Natalie Shepard shares the story of Just One More Ministry and its founder, Chris Capper.
A scoop of green beans, some meatloaf, and smiley potatoes. Volunteers at Just One More Ministry are busy building meals for hungry families.
Our niche is prepared food. So we pick up from caterers and restaurants and corporations that have lunchrooms.
Chris Capper came up with the idea. Feed Milwaukee's hungry and keep good food from going to waste.
Fiserv we pick up from, State Fair we pick up from, Johnsonville Sausage we pick up from.
Capper started all of this 10 years ago with one box of bread.
So this was going to be the room that we didn't use for 3 years. So we've been here 6 months.
And it's grown into a 24,000 square foot space in Glendale.
This is full, and we've only had it 6 months.
His pride is clear, with good reason. The ministry helped turn his life around.
I've been incarcerated 4 different times, twice in the lovely House of Correction.
After years of drinking and drugs, he got sober. Capper hires people to work at Just One More Ministry who've also faced challenges in their lives. He says he understands second chances.
Second, third, fourth, and fifth chances, yeah, because I've gotten many of them. So most of the people we hire, and some work out and some don't, but the board agrees with me that this is who we're going to hire.
The need in Milwaukee is tremendous.
Pierre Young knows what it's like. He's been working with Capper for years.
This ministry has been here for me through my drug addiction, through me being homeless, you name it.
Capper understands people's struggle, but says they should never go hungry.
We throw enough food away in this country to feed 500,000 people 3 meals a day for a year in 1 day.
And he never knows what they might get.
Greeby Bakery is a huge donor to us.
The day after Fat Tuesday, Capper had a pallet of punchki.
I just don't say no. So if someone wants, like, you saw the punchkis in the back, come and get all these, okay.
With a warehouse stocked with supplies, Capper also decided to take food out into the community. Twice a week, they pack up bags with all kinds of supplies.
And it's just meant to be a supplement in case they're running out, or and then they get a package of the meat.
They head out for their community outreach program. Within minutes, they say 50 to 60 people come meet them.
So it just shows us how hungry some of these folks are. You know, that they're going to come and they don't know who we are and they don't know what they're going to get, but there's free food come.
When we pull up in the van, people are standing out in the cold waiting.
Right now, Just One More Ministry feeds about 1,600 people a week. Capper's dream, one day, that his services are no longer needed. So the goal is to keep it.
I'd really like to be out of business, but I don't think that's going to happen soon.
The blood, the sweat, and the tears, lots of tears.
A commitment to excel in the classroom and in the ring.
I mean, you can feel the energy as soon as you saw this kid. Like, they give you a big smile, hug.
And next, why some of the smallest among us are these athletes' biggest fans.
Social distancing is critical to preventing the spread of coronavirus.
Put distance between yourself and others.
Don't go to work if you feel sick, and stay away from large social gatherings.
Please practice social distancing and stay safe.
Could someone be stealing your identity or hacking into your phone or laptop? It can actually happen from across the room or from thousands of miles away. Or a company you trust with your personal information could be breached. Your information is in more places than ever. You need more protection than ever. That's why Norton and LifeLock are now part of one company, providing an all-in-one membership for your cyber safety. Norton 360 with LifeLock gives you identity theft protection, device security, a VPN for online privacy, and more. Cyber criminals keep looking for new ways to steal your personal information. You might not even know it until it's too late.
Someone filed my taxes under my name. $6,000 was sent to some anonymous person, some anonymous bank account.
They got into my bank account and my cell phone. What else do they have?
With threats all around, you need 360-degree protection. Norton 360 with LifeLock gives you all-in-one protection against today's new threats.
I've got two industry leaders coming together to help protect my identity and my devices.
Why not have that added layer of protection so that you can sleep well at night?
Join now and use promo code MyPromo to save 25% off your first year. All Norton 360 with LifeLock memberships include LifeLock Identity Theft Protection backed by our $1 million protection package and U.S.-based restoration specialists who will work to fix problems. Award-winning Norton device security for multiple devices. A VPN for online privacy, securing your connections whether you're on public Wi-Fi or at home, and more.
You never know where cyber threats are lurking these days. Don't wait to become a victim. Here's how to join.
Norton 360 with LifeLock. Call 1-800-234-0137 or visit lifelock.com/mypromo. Use promo code MyPromo to save 25% off your first year and get a free shredder with annual membership. Call now.
Moves fast.
On the CBS 58 News at 10, we'll break it down.
To give you the news you need to know.
And tomorrow's forecast in 30 minutes.
Breaking news.
Today's big stories.
And ready weather.
We'll get you caught up every night at 10.
Switch to the CBS 58 News at 10.
Coronavirus has brought sports to a grinding halt in America. But even though games are on hold indefinitely, what hasn't disappeared is the commitment from athletes to give back to their communities, albeit at safe distances for now. Before schools shut down and people were told not to gather in groups, Scott Grotsky went out to capture a special partnership between Sharp Literacy and the Marquette Golden Eagles that's inspiring students.
Right before March Madness was supposed to tip off, some of the Marquette Golden Eagles took a timeout.
Hello, 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 hello.
To read to some of their youngest fans.
I watch the Marquette every game.
Will you be my friend?
Sharp Literacy's Reading with the Golden Eagles program is in its 6th season.
We can actually see them up close. We can talk to them. We can ask them questions.
Yeah, you're right. I love working with kids. I mean, you can feel the energy as soon as you saw this kid. Like, they like give you a big smile, hug. Wow.
Ike knows the importance of education.
In African home, they take school so serious.
Growing up in Nigeria, he didn't start speaking English until he was 13 years old and planning to move to the U.S. to play basketball. Now he's playing it forward.
Like, I want to be able to do as much as I can to help this kid, give back to them.
The president and CEO of Sharp Literacy, Linda Kohler, is thrilled to have such a great role model for the kids.
He just wants to give back, he just wants to make a difference, he wants to do more, and it gives kids the desire to be better and do better and know that you can, overcome obstacles if you really, put your mind to it.
Ike's basketball career came to an early end with 2 serious back injuries.
When I heard the news from the doctor, I broke down, like, crying.
His teammates helped him get through it.
I just love, Marquette so much that, I take them as a family.
While his Marquette family finished their season 18-12 on the court, Ike built one.
I used to practice at this basketball court. Every year that I go home, I see this basketball court getting worse and worse.
So the 21-year-old young man saved up money for 3 years to rebuild in his hometown. Now he's working on starting a nonprofit to help send Nigerian kids to school.
I always want to give back, want to do something, because every time that I do something good, I get joy from it.
So do the kids in Mr. Collins' 3rd grade class.
I guess this is the end of the story.
This week in Wisconsin history, it was March 22, 1877, when Lavinia Goodell opened the door for women lawyers in the Badger State. 143 years ago today, the Wisconsin legislature passed a bill prohibiting gender discrimination on the state bar, all thanks to the persistent lobbying of Goodell. Born in upstate New York, Goodell moved to Janesville in 1871, where she began studying law at the age of 32. Gradually, she made a place for herself in a defense firm, taking particular interest in defending the rights of married women, penal legislation, and prison reform. But in 1875, one of her cases was appealed to the state Supreme Court, where she was not allowed to practice law. Goodell immediately turned to the legislature, where she pushed for change. After the state assembly acted, she was granted permission to appear before the state's highest court. In 1880, Goodell argued and won her first case in the Wisconsin Supreme Court shortly before she died of cancer at her home in Janesville.
I would say this year's winner has left a truly long-term impact, 150 years long-term, actually.
Last November, Goodell was posthumously awarded the Lifetime Innovator Award from the State Bar of Wisconsin.
By far, one of the most difficult things I've ever had to endure as a human being.
Straight ahead, a local educator with a brutal but beneficial side gig. And then,
one local man has such a drive when it comes to his Corvettes. It's not only his car that he takes on the road, it's also his collection of 1,700 model types. I'm Michael Schlesinger. Story coming up on CBS 58 Sunday morning.
Hi, I'm Terry Nestel, Interim President and CEO of Children's Miracle Network Hospitals. COVID-19 is affecting all of us. It is impacting how people live, work, shop, and how we care for one another. One way you can help is by protecting the most vulnerable kids. Stay home. Practice social distancing. Working together, we can change kids' health. Together, we can change the future.
The Soder family thought they'd take a road trip. A little fun, a little sun. What could go wrong? There's no such thing as a fender bender with a big truck. If you or a loved one has been injured by a semi, call Gruber Law Offices right now. One call, that's all.
New CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk, a vegan foundation, formulated without formaldehydes, phthalates, parabens, sulfates, and talc, giving me a healthy, natural look that says, this is me. Clean Fresh Skin Milk from Easy Breezy Beautiful CoverGirl.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Diabetics understand all too well the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can immediately reduce your pain. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 4 or more times daily, injecting insulin 3 or more times daily, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn about this groundbreaking new CGM technology. And if you have Medicare, you can get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 4 or more times daily, injecting insulin 3 or more times daily, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how you can get your own continuous glucose monitor or CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
You know who really loves fresh food? Amateur chefs, stay-at-home parents, salad lovers, barbecuers, smorgasborders, hors d'oeuvres, fondue-ers, and flambéers, midnight snackers, brown baggers, bakers, and throw it in the microwavers. At Pick and Save, you can get all the fresh you want at a great price with same-day pickup and delivery. Because we believe in fresh for everyone.
In the Octagon, his fans call him the Jamaican sensation, but in the classroom, students simply call him Mr. Osborne. He is a rare combination, teacher's assistant at a Milwaukee charter school by day, ultimate fighter by night. This morning, Shirley Discorbeth enters the Octagon with O'Day Osborne.
Some might view MMA as just fighting, but to professional fighter O'Day Osborne, it's more than that.
You know, people that don't know fighting, they see two people in the cage like Neanderthals beating each other up, but it's really not. If you really pay close attention, it's like a game of chess. You know, it's whoever can anticipate the next move before the other guy.
Osborne dedicates countless hours training in the gym here at Pura Vida Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Martial Arts near Milwaukee's River West neighborhood. The 28-year-old has a lot to celebrate. He recently made his UFC debut.
A surreal moment, I think, for me. Just the crowd and the energy that everybody was coming. The feeling was just like I was meant to be there, and I know I belong, and I'll stay right there, and I'm not going anywhere.
The motivated fighter goes by a few nicknames.
I am the Jamaican sensation, or people have really been drawn to the Picasso of MMA.
But growing up was tough. Born in Jamaica, he moved with his mother to the United States 2 decades ago. They settled in Brooklyn, then in South Florida.
I've always been a fighter deep down because even when I was in Jamaica, I've always wanted more. You know, I always wanted better, and that's why my mom moved here to give me more. She's always fought to give me more because where I came from, I'm from Kingston, and that's a rough area. It's not all palm trees and sunshine. You know, we grew up poor and in poverty, kind of.
During high school, Osborne wrestled and looked up to fighters like Kimbo Slice. After graduating, his dreams led him to Wisconsin.
There's actually a pretty big population for fighting in Wisconsin. People outside of it would have never known that, but yeah.
The journey to become a UFC fighter has been an arduous one.
By far, one of the most difficult things I've ever had to endure as a human being.
Also one of painful blows.
The blood, the sweat, and the tears, lots of tears. You know, it's a facade that every day you're in the gym and you're just crushing people. That's not how it is. You know, you're in the gym and you're getting beat up.
Osborne's fighting coach, Jake Clipp.
You have to have a certain level of natural gifts. You have to be athletic. You have to be tough. You have to understand the game. You know, you can be born with all the fighting skills in the world, but if you don't also have that work ethic, it's going to be for naught. He's got both.
Although Osborne gained his UFC contract last year, he didn't quit his day job as an assistant teacher at Woodlands School.
And I want them to see that I can come from nothing and become something of myself, and that they can do the same thing and have no excuse for why they didn't turn their homework in or why they got this grade on a test.
The Jamaican sensation's UFC debut was in front of a packed Vegas arena of 20,000 people.
The moment wasn't too big for him, so he came out stylish and doing some fun, fancy techniques.
But his opponent won the match. Both Osborne and his coach agree there's room for improvement.
A couple little mistakes against a top 25 guy, and it cost him the fight. But that was a debut fight. That was his first fight on the big stage.
Just something silly as you know, getting shot on, lean over the top for an elbow, get you taken down, instead of, you know, my natural sprawling.
Back here in Milwaukee, his students were rooting for him.
So I came into school, I showed up in the hallway, and there they were, just with signs, yelling, screaming, all kinds of stuff before I left. And I thought that was like the biggest thing for me. I was blown away.
For now, Osborne doesn't know when his next fight will be. Until then, he'll be training and anxiously awaiting his next match in the octagon.
When I'm fighting and I'm in that cage, I generally feel it's like this wavelength that hits you in so many different levels that you can't really explain, but it's a feeling of like, okay, I belong and I'm meant to do this.
Where the rubber meets the road, or should I say this Economwalk basement, where you can find a huge Corvette collection, of course, model size. I'm Michael Schlesinger. Story coming up on CBS 58 Sunday morning.
Social distancing is critical to preventing the spread of coronavirus. Put distance between yourself and other people and avoid any large social gathering. Don't go to work if you feel ill. Please practice social distancing and stay safe.
Kevin sure does talk a lot, but your car's in the shop and this carpool's all you got. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
We made USAA insurance for members like Martin, an Air Force veteran made of doing what's right, not what's easy. So when a hailstorm hit, USAA reached out before he could even inspect the damage.
That's how you do it right.
USAA insurance is made just the way Martin's family needs it. With hassle-free claims, he got paid before his neighbor even got started. Because doing right by our members, that's what's right. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
USAA. Coffee before your 8 a.m. Belvita breakfast biscuits to get you through your 9, 10, and your 11 a.m. team mixer. Made with a delicious blend of grains, get 4 hours of lasting energy to outlast your morning.
I'm attorney Andy Liverman. If you've been hurt in a car or big truck accident, put an experienced law firm on your side. At Genlin, Liverman & Reimer, we have a team of lawyers, paralegals, experts, and investigators who can start working on your case immediately. After a car or big truck accident, call the name you know and trust. Hurt in a car, call GLR. Just dial 7s. Call Genlin, Liverman & Reimer for a free consultation. Just dial 7s.
Now you might have heard about this show before, but we'll break it down using science. Sheldon, Leonard, Raj, and Howard, that's 4. We call that the friendship alliance. Sheldon knocks to the power of 3 for some reason. Multiply that by 12 for 12 awesome seasons. It all comes out to one incredible series. The Big Bang is the best one of all the theories. Big Bang. This is the Big Bang. Big Bang. This is the Big Bang. Big Bang. Big Bang.
Tonight at 6 on the M. The M means Milwaukee.
This morning, we're taking you inside a shrine to stingrays, one man's miniature Corvette collection. Michael Schlesinger shows us the prized possessions of this driven collector.
The love of cars and Corvettes makes a collision course right outside Rich Gilbert's Economwalk driveway.
From the drive, you know you're behind a different than a standard car. You know, the way the handling, it's got close ratio steering, and just the way it shifts, the way it drives. It's a total different experience than a regular car.
You know, a beauty like this 02 model isn't just any car. It's one of America's favorite sports cars, a title used since the early 1950s.
It's a lot of fun to drive there. Get a lot of looks, people give you a thumbs up.
And experiencing it firsthand, just 20 inches off the ground, is like no other feeling. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh my gosh! In case you were wondering, we went from 0 to 55 miles an hour in 2 seconds flat, courtesy of a 350 horsepower engine.
This used to be a rec room, not anymore.
Out of the car and into the basement. An area once considered a man cave for Gilbert, but not anymore. It's now more like a collector's corner, or corners filled with model-sized cars.
I won't sell any of these. You know, people come down and say, oh, would you sell it? Why this car? And I said, no, I said, nothing down here is for sale.
These special finds are replicas, some 1,700 of them. It's a collection at least 40 years in the making with an estimated value of $50,000.
You know, you start collecting anything, you want more, and all of a sudden you think, I want to get every one they got out there. But I know I'm never going to do that, but it's kind of neat.
This 75-year-old says he's always had a love for this kind of Chevrolet and has owned a few along the way.
I had to sell the first one to get married. The second one I had to sell to get divorced. So then I thought, well, so then I didn't have a car for quite a while.
But then he got more, like a 71, 98, and the one he's in now, the Electron Blue 02. Are you going to buy another one?
No, I think the one I have will probably be the last one.
Something he won't do is stop collecting. He's expanding his back room, in fact.
But, you know, some people come down here and, you know, they've got a collection of 15, 20 cars and they think they got a large collection, and they come down here, look around and say, oh my God, I don't know they made this many models. And the bad part of it is I probably don't even have half of them.
Most everything is in its original packaging. So many different varieties too, including die casts, pace cars, and close to 60 remote control type.
It seems like you get 10, 20 of them, then 50 and 100. Next thing you know, you get obsessed. If there was in a series, I wanted to make sure I got the whole series. It's kind of like any kind of collecting. It gets in your blood, and you just keep going.
A drive in one direction to add on to what he already has. And not on eBay either, according to this collector. The price can be too high.
I have one made out of pewter, solid pewter. They made two of their models. They made a 63 and a 57. I really like to get the 63, but I've done on eBay, and if I do see one, the guy's going to probably want $2,000 for it. Well, I guess if you want it, you have to pay that. I'm not looking for anything for nothing. But I know kind of after buying all these what they're about worth, and I just won't pay a big price for it. Unless I have a set and I need one to finish it, then I'll probably pay a little more for it. The best luck I have is like toy shows, swap meets, rummage sales, flea markets. That's where you can usually get a good deal.
To me, one find is cooler than the other.
This is a complete set. The larger scale 1958 Corvettes, the red, white, blue, and black. And then this model here is, they only made a few of them. It's got more than 1,000 parts in it. Exact duplicate of everything. Little springs and everything is duplicated back to original, like the car was built. Years ago, when you bought a Corvette, they would give you a little promo model like this.
What year was that?
94.
Gilbert admits one day his need for additional model cars will run out of gas, and he'll have to give up his hobby. But then he says he wants to share his Stingrays with so many others.
We belong to the National Corvette Museum. I said, we talked to them already. I'd probably donate the whole works to them, and then they'll put a big display up, and then anybody can see it again. You know, I hate to have. I don't try to be a, ham with the collection, but I hate to see people have big collections and then nobody sees them. You know, a lot of people know about this. A lot of people come down here and look at them and they enjoy the collection.
And if you're lucky enough, you might be able to see it someday, not be left behind in the dust or engine exhaust.
So this ravine is actually a natural ravine. It's existed here for tens of thousands of years.
Coming up, the effort to preserve Wisconsin's natural beauty in the heart of Tosa.
He's probably the one person that has had the biggest impact on us all.
Okay, here he goes.
He's definitely pushed us.
And next, persistence pays off for a high school wind symphony, building on its band program's tradition of excellence.
Coronavirus is on everyone's mind.
And it's important to choose facts over fear.
Here are some simple steps that we should all be taking to prevent the spread.
Clean your hands often. Wash with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. If they aren't available, use hand sanitizer.
Cover your coughs and sneezes with a tissue and immediately throw used tissues in a lined trash can.
Use a household cleaning spray or wipe to clean all high-touch surfaces every day.
For more information on how to stop the spread, go to cbs58.com.
Hi, I'm David Gruber. My firm has been helping injured Wisconsinites for more than 30 years. Our team is available 24/7. If you or a loved one has been injured, call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
This is gonna be America's favorite breakfast. They just don't know it yet. Wendy's uses fresh cracked eggs on all our breakfast sandwiches, not whatever this stuff is. That's right. See you in the morning. You up for this?
4 years ago, I felt awful because of my psoriasis. I was covered from head to toe with it. I was afraid to show my skin. Every time I moved my arm, my skin cracked and bled. It really hurt. Then I started Cosentyx. That was 4 years ago. How are you? Now, I don't really think about it. See me.
Cosentyx works fast to give you clear skin that can last. Real people with psoriasis look and feel better with Cosentyx. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about an infection or symptoms. If your inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen, or if you've had a vaccine or plan to, serious allergic reactions may occur.
See me. I look and feel better.
Ask your dermatologist if Cosentyx could help you move past the pain of psoriasis.
OMFG, our Modern Family guarantee. Can I get a what? You'll LOL all week long. Monday. Let's get matching tattoos. Tuesday.
It's a body spray called Sex Grenade.
That smell is driving me crazy.
Then it's working.
And even
WTF, why the face?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
I hope I could be as cool as you guys in 30 years.
Does she think we're 50?
No, she's just really bad at math.
Modern Family Nightly.
Tonight at 7 on the M.
Music changes lives is the theme of Music in Our Schools Month, celebrated every March here in Wisconsin and around the country. Of course, also changing lives is the coronavirus pandemic. It's put most public gatherings on hold, and that includes the postponement of an upcoming trip of a lifetime for local high school students and their award-winning band director. Earlier this month, before COVID-19 concerns shut down schools and social distancing became the new normal, we met with members of this elite ensemble to share their success story. The Oconomowoc High School Wind Symphony is our Sunday morning spotlight. Minutes after sunrise on a morning in March at the Oconomowoc Arts Center.
We've been here since 6:30 in the morning.
An hour before classes begin at the adjacent high school. Freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors are rehearsing with heart and voice.
They're playing with their hearts and their souls and with their voice.
With Heart and Voice is a hymn that celebrates the school's past, present, and future commitment to the arts. A piece the Oconomowoc High School Wind Symphony performed at a concert held earlier this month. A preview of 3 classical works they thought they'd be playing April 9th on one of the world's greatest stages. Oconomowoc was one of only 3 schools nationwide chosen to participate in the annual New York Invitational Music Festival. These students, who play woodwind, brass, and percussion instruments, were scheduled to attend workshops, meet with other musicians, attend 2 Broadway shows, and perform at the prestigious Carnegie Hall. The anticipation was palpable for piccolo player Haley Hansen.
When I picked up flute in 5th grade, I never would have guessed that I would be sitting up here getting ready to go to Carnegie Hall.
And principal clarinet player Josie Cox.
It hasn't really hit us yet until it gets closer and closer.
But a week after our visit, Josie, Haley, and 58 other members of this talented ensemble learned a dream trip that was only a month away was postponed because of coronavirus.
One more time, that was good.
Even though the pandemic's path remains uncertain, hopes are high here that the event will be rescheduled, providing seniors such as Mick Viam with a high school career crescendo.
And I think going to Carnegie Hall is a great way to end my senior year. It's a grand finale kind of.
This is also the final semester at OHS for senior French horn player Simon Field.
It's just so incredible to see a community so supportive of this wonderful band program.
A successful and award-winning program that's taken Alia Rodenkirk and her bandmates to stages across the state and country.
Last year we went to the Music for All National Concert Festival as one of the top 15 bands in the country, which was really cool.
A recording of the collegiate and professional level music performed by the Wind Symphony at this festival last year convinced organizers of the New York event to include Oconomowoc in their lineup of performers. We've heard it many times before. How do I get to Carnegie Hall? You answer that question.
Well, it's with lots of practice and just persistence and pursuing excellence.
Band director Michael Crofta not only leads the Wind Symphony, but 5 other OHS bands. Now in his 29th year of teaching at Oconomowoc High, this former Wisconsin Band Master of the Year recipient is also a professional trumpet player.
And the D flat, that was probably the best we ever played that, so thank you on that. Artistic excellence is really what our music program is all about. And it's the same from our high school to our intermediate schools to our 5th grade band. We're just pursuing excellence, and I would say that pushes us.
He's probably the one person that has had the biggest impact on us all.
He teaches us so much, not only music, but life skills that we use in the real world.
Like how to partner with civic, business, and the school's Band-Aids parents group to raise money for the trip.
People are all really excited for us, and they're all willing to help us get to where we're going.
From t-shirt sales to playing for tips at a Kiwanis dinner, 9 months of creative fundraising has paid off, with groups and individual donors responding generously.
The community being, raising really over $60,000, where each student, instead of having to pay $1,700, they're paying $830.
One of my favorite things about being a part of Oconomowoc is being able to talk to other high school students around Wisconsin, because I say, oh, I'm from Oconomowoc, and they're like, oh, you have a great band, right? And I get to say yes.
In addition to pride and accolades, the fundraisers, rehearsals, and performances have created a lifelong bond among members of this honors class and Wind Symphony alumni who, over the decades, helped build this band program's tradition of excellence.
This class really becomes not a class anymore. It really is a family.
One thing I can say for people coming into middle school or high school is when you get into school, you got to find a family. You got to find a group that you belong with. And this for me, this is that group.
Here we go.
Like the piece with heart and voice, which begins with a feeling of apprehension, there is uneasiness about the pandemic and its potential impact on a dream this group, school, and community have worked so hard to achieve. But as with the song that works through emotions and ends with joyful exuberance, it's clear this ensemble, having reached Carnegie Hall or not, won't dwell on the destination, but rather celebrate the high notes of their musical journey.
These kids just aren't band students, they're scholars, they're athletes, they're involved in drama, robotics. And I see them become better musicians, but even more importantly, I think I see them become just better people.
So music has sort of been with me since I started playing, and it's sort of given me my group of people, and it's been something that I can really hold on to, and it's something I'll cherish forever.
You'll find today's stories and those from previous episodes at cbs58.com/Sunday Morning. And please send your story ideas to Sunday Morning at cbs58.com.
So by the time in the late 1800s, this was a hospital area and a sanctuary for the patients.
After the break, the hidden history of Sanctuary Woods. And then,
let your imagination take you back to the 1920s when there were horses in these stables and the who's who of Milwaukee came to parties at this house. We'll take you inside coming up.
This is so nice, being in your safe space.
Look! Dad!
No more privacy because you've had too much of it.
All she did was kiss a boy.
Weekdays at 4 on the M.
When Mark was hit by a distracted driver, he knew to call Hupy and Abraham.
Hupy and Abraham proved to me that they meant business, that they were definitely on my side. The best part of it is there's no fee unless they win your case.
This is a special report for people who want the facts about reverse mortgages without the hype. You've seen a lot of commercials telling you how you can turn the equity in your home into tax-free cash. But do you really know if a reverse mortgage loan can help you? Call today. For a limited time only, we'll send you a free special report, Reverse Mortgages, Facts Without the Hype. Did you know that not everyone over 62 can qualify? And you can choose to receive your money monthly or in a lump sum. Call us today and get all the facts you need. You'll speak with an experienced reverse mortgage advisor who will give you honest answers to your questions and even provide a free personalized assessment. This is a big decision. Get the facts with this free special report, Reverse Mortgages, Facts Without the Hype. There's no obligation, and the call is free, so don't delay.
Call 1-800-808-5030. That's 1-800-808-5030.
The coronavirus pandemic is evolving hour by hour, minute by minute, and changing the way we live our lives. CBS 58 is committed to delivering you facts and not fear, so you can keep yourself and your family safe. Stay informed with in-depth local coronavirus reports in every newscast, and make CBS58.com your 24-hour resource for the latest coronavirus news and important information. CBS 58 remains committed to watching out for you and your family.
People have a lot of good things to say about Hupy and Abraham.
I would recommend Hupy and Abraham to anyone, family, friends, work, colleagues, anybody.
Call Hupy and Abraham right now.
They really do mean business.
I don't think people hear thank you enough, or what you're doing matters. And so Everyday Heroes is a way to get out into the community and show that people are doing things that make a difference every day. And it can be something small or it can be something big, but everyone has something to contribute to the community, and everyone has a way that they can make Southeast Wisconsin a better place. If you'd like to nominate someone for Natalie's Everyday Heroes, just send me a message. We want to hear about someone doing something great in your life.
Natalie's Everyday Heroes, Wednesday at 10.
Since the 1980s, Milwaukee County residents have pushed for a natural forest to achieve seeded in December. And now, with the weather improving, people are enjoying it for the first time. Brendan Cullerton shows us the storied history of Wauwatosa's Sanctuary Woods.
Tree back there, 290 years old. These trees all over 150 years old.
Jonathan Peel took us on a path through the 58-acre Wauwatosa forest known as Sanctuary Woods. Sanctuary Woods is an old-growth forest, meaning it has generally grown on its own and contains very old trees. Peel says the trees here are more than 200 years old.
And it's here in the middle of Wauwatosa. If somebody had said, there's an old-growth forest in the middle of Wauwatosa, most people wouldn't believe it. And yet you've been able to see that here today, and it's available for anyone, anytime.
Peel was one of many who lobbied the Wauwatosa and Milwaukee County governments to declare those 58 acres a conservation zone. In December, they finally received a verdict.
We just got this area preserved in the last few months, and so now we get to start planning on what do we do with regard to restoration.
But the fight to preserve the land surrounding Sanctuary Woods, the Milwaukee County grounds, has lasted much longer.
The efforts to preserve the county grounds goes back to the late 1980s. So we've continued that fight, and in December, we're really proud of the County of Milwaukee and the City of Wauwatosa for changing the zoning of 58 acres to conservation status. And again, it would come over a little cascade right here. And it would...
If you haven't heard of the area, you aren't alone. It's on the other side of Watertown Plank Road from Frederick Hospital. And you have to drive around the back of the Wisconsin Athletic Club and the Milwaukee Ronald McDonald House to find the entrance. Do you think just the fact that this is kind of out of the way keeps people from knowing that it's here?
Yes, that's very true. In fact, it doesn't have a formal address. That's another reason why we have that website, friendsofcountygroundspark.org. It provides at least some instruction about how to be able to get here. We've chosen to create several piles of buckthorn.
Peel's group, Friends of County Grounds Park, are currently working to remove the invasive buckthorn trees from the land, which he says could take more than 10 years.
It emits a toxin through its roots that inhibits the growth of any other plants. It's the first to leaf, it's the last to lose its leaf, it just crowds out all the other native plants.
It's called Sanctuary Woods because the area used to be a sanctuary area for patients in a mental health hospital built in the 1880s.
People who were patients here got to engage in therapy that was work therapy. It's basically getting out and doing normal things, which was a huge difference from the incarceration that really mental treatment was before, right? Putting somebody in a small room, keeping them locked up 23 hours a day.
Most of the physical structures in the woods were actually built by the patients.
In the late 1800s, this was a hospital area and a sanctuary for the patients. They wanted to make this ravine more accessible. And so among the other things that patients did is patients created this staircase that you see here. So this is a field stone staircase.
In addition to those physical structures, there are works of art, like this sculpture made by a patient in 1908.
And it is said that he made this in under 2 months, made it without any drawings or designs or models. Basically did it all freehand and without anything else. It appeared out of his imagination and his skill.
Some of the buildings are mostly gone.
This men's pavilion, even up until the 1950s, had pillared walls coming off of it and a full roof on it.
You can actually walk on top of the tunnel they used in the 50s to bring patients into the system.
We're actually walking on hollow ground. There were multiple buildings in the area, and the buildings were all connected by tunnels. And so the tunnel was about this wide and 8 feet deep. The only reason why this cement still stays here is that if they took up 8 inches of cement, there'd be 8 feet of tunnel underneath it.
Peel says the woods has something for everyone. You just have to find it and check it out.
It has rolling hills, it has 2 old cemeteries in it, it has 2 ponds, it has multiple creeks, it has the old growth forest. It's perfect for photographers, for birders, for animal lovers, for nature lovers, just to be able to come out. It isn't developed.
The creme de la creme of Milwaukee high society was here. I mean, the ills, meat packers, Cudahy's, all the creme de la creme.
More than curb appeal, a real estate listing featuring more than a century of treasured history.
The American Red Cross urgently needs blood and platelet donations and asks all healthy donors to schedule an appointment to give now. With the coronavirus outbreak, it is important to maintain a sufficient blood supply. Your blood donation is critical and can help save lives. Please schedule an appointment today. Download the Blood Donor app, visit redcrossblood.org, or call 1-800-RED-CROSS today. You can make a difference.
Cue Rachel Ray.
Hey friends, today we're whipping up some delicious recipes. So, who's hungry?
Pets love Rachel Ray Nutrish and its kitchen-inspired recipes with real meat, poultry, or fish. Rachel Ray Nutrish. Real recipes, real ingredients, real good.
Technology stocks extended their gains Wednesday.
That snack just sounded boring. Coming through. No photos, please. Bye-bye, Bland. Hello, delicious.
Rich, creamy, 100% real cheese with Mini Baby Bell. Snack time is saved.
Saved it.
Have you been in an accident? Do you think you need a lawyer? Consult the Hupy and Abraham legal page at cbs58.com. Get the answers you need from Wisconsin's top 58.com/legal.
You know who really loves fresh food? Amateur chefs, stay-at-home parents, salad lovers, barbecuers, smorgasborders, hors d'oeuvres, fondue-ers, and flambéers, midnight snackers, brown baggers, bakers, and throw it in the microwavers. At Pick and Save, you can get all the fresh you want at a great price with same-day pickup and delivery. Because we believe in fresh for everyone.
Overnight. But Buick and GMC's commitment to you remains the same.
We understand you want to feel safe, so we're offering current owners complimentary OnStar Crisis Assist services. Should you need a vehicle, we're offering 0% financing for up to 84 months with deferred payment options for 120 days. Plus, you may have the option to shop online and take delivery at home. Visit our websites for the help you need. Buick and GMC, we're here to help.
This is so nice, being in your safe space.
Look! Dad!
No more privacy because you've had too much of it.
All she did was kiss a boy.
Weekdays at 4 on the N.
We now take you to Little Meadowmere. It's not a park or lake, but rather the name of an exquisite estate, a 130-year-old property, modernized but also rich in Milwaukee history. And did I mention for sale? Brittany Lewis tours this one-of-a-kind landmark in Mequon.
From the moment you pull into the tree-lined driveway at Little Meadowmere, there's a feeling that you're being transformed to another time, a time when moments were captured in black and white, and bow ties were part of everyday fashion.
It was amazing time, amazing time.
The idea was to really open it up.
Real estate agent Julia Kellogg and history buff Steve Ewing
This guy had cash, cash, cash.
know a lot about this home and the people that lived here.
The lady that owned the place, Harriet Mitchell, was the granddaughter of Alexander Mitchell, who there's probably no person in the history of Milwaukee that was more important to the growth of that city than Alexander Mitchell.
Her brother, General Billy Mitchell, was pretty important too. Widely hailed as one of the forefathers of the U.S. Air Force, whose name is on the airport where most of us go to fly. He spent time here in and out of the home.
He used to have his horse stabled here, you know, and her, Harriet and Billy would ride horses together out in this place. And so it really has a tremendous amount of
The blueprints of the home and the custom garden.
it was during the Great Depression, and nobody had any money. It was like almost a third of the people were unemployed. There was no money, and she had a fellow who was a stonemason, and he was a very, very proud guy, and he didn't have any work. And she put him to work for the entire Great Depression, and they built all these rock walls around here. Mm-hmm. And I liken it to the fact that those are walls that are built of kindness, of the kindness of Harriet Mitchell's heart.
Harriet Mitchell lived here until about 1968. The home was sold to a couple, and then a year and a half ago, sold again to a group of investors.
Wait till you see the sunroom out on this side. This is really cool.
I want to move in.
Their goal was to update.
This was opened up then more to allow a better flow into the formal dining room.
And preserve.
This door is just amazing. Look at this.
It's the original skeleton key.
Throughout the home, there are pieces of the Mitchell story.
They left the beams though, which is beautiful. I mean, so you get the rustic character.
This wood from the family farm.
All the wood in here came from that barn. There was a barn that the Mitchells had over in River Hills, and they took all this stuff and then they rebuilt it into this study floor.
This floor from the Marine Bank, led by Alexander Mitchell. Even bathtubs were maintained.
It used to be red.
Small details in a home that saw some of the most important Milwaukee figures.
The creme de la creme of Milwaukee high society was here. I mean, the Illsleys, the Vogels, you know, the meat packers, Cudahy's, all the creme de la creme. The governor, Kohler, used to be here all the time. The mayors of the city of Milwaukee, there were a number of mayors that came out here and partied.
A home with a storied history that is ready for the next chapter.
And it is truly a blessing to see that it's been brought into today's lifestyle, but there's been so much of the rich history still maintained. I think if Harriet Mitchell could be here, and she is, I'm sure she's looking down on us, she'd be very proud of what has been accomplished. I think we're just looking for someone who will love it as much as she did and, you know, treasure all the history that it has to offer.
And now a moment in Wisconsin. With so many people hunkering down, the sounds of nature take center stage, even in city centers like historic Greendale. Here's a look at what's coming up next week on CBS 58 Sunday morning.
It's supposed to be kind of a first stop for anybody who's interested in learning anything at all about the history of Milwaukee and the Milwaukee area.
It's a compendium of Milwaukee stories and history. We'll take you inside the new Encyclopedia of Milwaukee, a project years in the making from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee History Department. Its commitment to inform and preserve the Brew City for years to come. For something new under the sun, CBS Sunday Morning with host Jane Pauley is next. Thank you for sharing part of your morning with us. I'm Mike Strehlow. Please join us again next weekend for CBS 58 Sunday morning.
Social distancing is critical to preventing the spread of coronavirus. Put distance between yourself and other people and avoid any large social gathering. Don't go to work if you feel ill. Please practice social distancing and stay safe.
As a struggling actor, I need all the breaks that I can get. At Liberty Buchamode.
Cut.
Liberty Bibbity.
Cut. We'll dub it.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Who closes the bus door after the bus driver gets off?
Constant Contact makes it so easy to create emails for your business, you'll have time to let your mind wander.
Technically, he could close it, but his arm could get stuck. Is there a button? But how would he get to the... Wait, no. What?
Try email marketing and our new website builder, free.
Ah, tiny robots. Whoa.
There are a lot of reasons people say you're number one.
You do things nobody else does.
Like being in business for over 30 years.
Having over 90,000 customers.
And the best lifetime warranty.
Everybody else wants to say they're number one.
We did a lot of research.
And there's no better waterproofer around.
We know we picked the right company.
28 years and we're still dry.
EverDry Waterproofing, the leader in the waterproofing industry. Call today for your free in-home inspection.
What could be better than that?
Get to Kohl's and stack the savings with an extra 15% off. Save on Shark vacuums, get 50% off Serta, and save on kids apparel. Plus, take $10 off your kids' sale purchase of $50 or more. Plus, get Kohl's Cash. Plus, buy online, free 1-hour store pickup. Shop Kohl's and Kohl's.com.
Collector's Call, Season 2.
I can honestly say this is a first.
Bigger.
We've got boats, we've got submarines, we have Barbies everywhere.
Better.
I've never seen anything like that.
And with collections that will make you say,
what a great story.
It's Collector's Call, Season 2.
You can find MeTV locally on the following stations.
I am the lady having your baby. Let's go. Britches down.
She loves him?
What's not to love? To make a mean chili and I can build the hell out of a gazebo.
She loves him not.
I can't turn my back without Mike humping me like a chihuahua.
She must really love him.
Are you an idiot?
Yes! We're men, we're all idiots!
Fall in love with Mike and Molly.
Weeknights at 5 on the M. CBS 58 News at 9 tonight on WMLW The M.
Today on Full Court Press, tens of millions of Americans on lockdown as the coronavirus cripples the U.S.
So we say stay at home and save lives. This is a time of shared national sacrifice, but it's also a time to treasure our loved ones.
More and more states issuing stay-at-home orders, but caseloads keep climbing. We bring you to one of the latest hotspots.
We need tests. We need masks and surgical gowns. We need resources, and we need clear national strategy.
Plus, the federal government says it is cutting red tape to fast-track new treatments. And this virus is not just attacking our health, it is slamming the economy. What the government is doing to help businesses and workers. Full Court Press starts right now.